One man's trash is another person's treasure. Harnessing the sixth totem trait can be your key to success in Upland. I'm YK2012, founder of the Upland Guide. On this channel, you can learn everything you need to know about the Upland metaverse, tutorials, strategy, tips, tricks, totems, and a lot more. Please hit that subscribe button and share with a friend. The first 5 traits of each totem can be seen here, and each one of them have different rarity levels. Is it guaranteed that a totem with rarer traits are better than others? Not necessarily. Now, what exactly is this 6th trait that I'm talking about? The 6th trait is actually you, the player. You play a really big part in how effective your totem is for you. Now, what exactly do I mean by that? There's still a lot that we don't know about totems, but slowly and surely the pieces are starting to fall into place, and we can start to understand how these totems are going to work. Even with looking at only these 5 traits, the totems are still very subjective, and once we input the element of the actual player and his style of gameplay, everything comes wide open. To explain what I mean, let's take a look at 2 different totems and compare them. Let's say that both totems have an input or a style of elegant, which means that each time you are able to feed your totem, you're only able to feed it a small amount. And let's take a look at the scale, which is the capacity. How big is your totem, and how much protem can that totem hold before you have to go in and collect that protem to reset the bank? So let's compare a micro to an epic one. So a really small one compared to a really large one. Can we say that the totem that is epic is much better than the one that is micro? I don't think so. And that's because if you look at the style and the amount you're able to input each time, if you're only able to input a small amount, and yes, you are able to generate more protem out of that, but even if you're going to multiply a small number by 2 or 3, for example, it's still going to be a relatively small number. If I had a fluid style, which means that I would be able to input a lot each time, let's say 10 times, then multiplying that by 2 or 3 would be 20 or 30, and that would be a lot greater than just collecting 3. So you could understand that having a very small input and having a very large capacity might not be relevant. Maybe having that micro totem doesn't really matter because you're logging in every day and you're still going to be able to collect all of the protem. And this is where the 6th totem trait comes in, which is you. You have to understand yourself and how you like to play Upland. How often do you log in? If you log in regularly, it might not matter how frequently you have to feed your totem or how frequently you have to collect the protem. Maybe the stamina is also not something that you put a large value on because you're always going to be logging in and you're not going to be missing any of your feeding times. If you're a player that doesn't log in every day, then you might want to have something that has a bigger capacity. You might want to have something that you have to feed less frequently. Similar to many things in Upland, if you were to ask people what is the best city, you might get some different answers. And also here with totems, if you say, is this totem better than the other one, you might get some different answers as well. Everyone projects their own style of play onto the totems and sees if that totem is right for them. It might not be good for them, but it might be good for someone else, and keep an eye out for those because those will be good deals. Again, there's still a lot that we need to understand about totems. There's still several of the life forms that have yet to be introduced. The output graphs, we also don't know about those. And in terms of the frequency, we don't even know how frequently we're going to have to feed these. Maybe they're on an hourly basis, maybe they're on a daily or weekly basis. So there's still a lot of speculation that's going on with totems, and that's going to continue to happen. But starting to piece the puzzle together and understand how these different traits interact with each other and what they mean can help you to better strategize around how you want to work with totems. And of course, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications to make sure to get updates on all the new videos that I have coming out regarding totem, protem, stem, and everything else regarding Upland.